if everyone can hear me, I will call the meeting to order at 4:08 and go through attendance. Christy Eater.
I'm right here. Oh, sorry, attendance. Sorry.
Dina Johnson is absent. Taylor Rainey.
Present.
Michelle Southwick is absent. Kelly Schroeder absent. Nathan Tracy also absent. Larry Jansen. Ethan Sims.
Here.
I said Ethan.
Sorry.
Ethan Jensen is here.
I'm here too.
Thank you. Shannon Kelly. Present. Lisa Olson. Present. Darlene Decker. Here. Aaron McKinnon.
Present.
And I am Crystal Allen, the Executive Secretary, and I am here, I think. We are joined by Kathy Beals, the Math Content Coordinator, to talk a little bit about how math materials were evaluated this year compared to in years past.
Can you hear me from there? Okay. So Crystal and I worked on the evaluation rubric to make it match our new Idaho content standards for mathematics. So 6 years ago, the rubric they used was a national rubric that had a lot of alignment to the Common Core standards. So we revised that rubric, and we really looked at several different things to get to it, which was first our 2022 Idaho content standards in mathematics. The second thing we looked at was our new multi-tiered systems of support framework that we've been using at the State Department. So we aligned it to that. And then we did look at a lot of other rubrics like Ed Reports. We looked at rubrics other states have used who have also moved away from Common Core. And the last section of the rubric is based on national standards of quality. So there were sort of 4 parts: alignment to the standards, alignment to a multi-tiered system of support framework, and then alignment to these national rubrics. And then one other thing that we're launching as we're launching our new standards document is called the Idaho Math Instructional Framework. It's very similar to the practices in the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, but we made them a little bit more Idaho specific based on the language in our standards. So there were 8 mathematics teaching practices that align to our new standards that we also have them evaluate. It was a pretty extensive rubric. I think they're going to get a lot of really detailed information on the curricula they reviewed. And it was a lot of work for our teachers. So 6 years from now, we might revise that a little bit.
And a lot of work for our lovely committee.
Yes.
So the goal really was to make it more about Idaho standards, Idaho teaching practices, and get away from Common Core.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, now we will discuss the recommendations that are available. This will definitely be a discussion because not all are complete yet, because as mentioned, this was a lot of work for the committee. There's still some outstanding that we will be scheduling a subsequent meeting meeting next week. And so I am going
You're looking at us, I think, but we can't hear anything anymore.
because I had to sign into the SDE YouTube account, it kicked me out of the spreadsheet, so I have to give myself permission. Okay, so here's our list of reviews that are available. Although there may be some changes based on ongoing discussion or questions about some of the feedback in evaluations. So this may change as we go through this. So the first publisher on the list is Amplify Education. They only have those 4 submissions, all of which are considered comprehensive. Big Ideas Learning, all of their and those were all found as comprehensive as well. Carnegie Learning, the only outstanding item for Carnegie Learning is an English language learner evaluation that was done as part of an interim English learner evaluation. Unfortunately, one of the reviewers has had some illness in the family and we'll be completing that shortly though. So it looks like all of those are comprehensive as well. I believe, was there discussion about Cengage materials being ready? There's one outstanding for financial algebra. Tax update. Because that's such a unique course kind of on its own, being its financial algebra, are we comfortable still continuing to approve the rest of the Cengage materials? But it's not something that would fall into like a series sequence of materials. It's standalone higher. We can wait on Cengage if you
So what they're
prefer.
saying is, yeah, approve or disapprove, or a comprehensive or basic of the financial one doesn't affect these ones.
Cool.
Yes.
The rest of them are, so pre-calculus, there's 2 of those, college prep algebra, college algebra, trigonometry and statistics.
Okay, the calculus with limits, the graphic.
Okay.
And it has some integrated.
Cengage? So are we okay to keep Cengage, the ones that are already in, since that's kind of a standalone course? Okay. Curriculum associates, these are all of the materials they submitted. They are all comprehensive. Explore learning. That is, we are missing the 912 for gizmos. Hearing has not been completed now that we could add it, or would you like to hold off on the 3, 5, and 6, 8 gizmos?
The 912 is the one we're looking at, and it's will be component. It was, yeah.
So would you like to add it in?
We can add it. Comfortable doing that. I believe Taylor would also.
Taylor, you were looking at that evaluation as well. Would you feel comfortable adding that in now that it's complete?
Fingers are burning.
I don't see him.
I think we lost Taylor.
College prep algebra.
Okay. College prep algebra,
Has not been looked at.
that one that you.
No, I just got done with, I was looking first, but I can't see her. It's here, basic statistics.
So because, what was the other, the college prep algebra?
College prep algebra.
Okay, so I think it would probably make sense to hold off on algebra then as well. Until they can reach.
Practice, okay.
You have algebra,
Algebra has not been looked at.
college algebra?
College prep algebra has not.
There's a college prep algebra and a college algebra. They're separate.
Same thing.
That was. Okay, we'll hold off on that, but the trig and pre-calc are okay.
I texted, talking back from. close we had one.
Okay, we'll go back to Explore Learning once Taylor is in. Midland.
So maybe math solution.
Yes. Since the college prep algebra is not done, I'm holding off on the college algebra so we can look at those two together. They're a bit out of order, but okay, so Houghton Mifflin had an intervention program that was submitted, Math 180, that was recommended as an intervention. Their Into Math program from grade 3 and upward was comprehensive. Grade K through 2 was not recommended. I know that I heard some feedback on that. Would any committee members like to speak to some of the issues as to why there's such a stark difference? Right.
I know my K2 reviewers all came up with a percentage that was under 80%. Their kindergarten was way under 80%. Their 1-2 were like 74 and 76%. They felt like the kindergarten was all preschool standards, was as far as it took the kindergarten, and then therefore that would leave a huge gap from to where the first grade picked off. Then they felt like it was a little bit better connection between first and second grade, but there was still a gap between how far it took them in first grade and where it expected them to start in second grade. But they did the not recommend based on the percentage being under 80%.
Okay, just organizing all our Into Math all together. Then there's some additional high school level texts that were also comprehensive. Imagine learning. It looks like we may need to revisit. Okay, I see that. So they have a 6, a regular grade 6, and then 6 accelerated, and then a regular grade 7 and a 7 accelerated. So it looks like their typical sequencing is still all comprehensive, and then the accelerated classes were the finding of basic. So those still are consistent. Would you agree on that? Okay. That is all the Imaginal Learning submissions. McGraw-Hill, reveal math. Oh, sorry, thank you. Macmillan, we submitted a statistics course. It was comprehensive. McGraw-Hill, reveal math. We have a pretty big difference there. K2 grade band and 3-5 grade band. Looks like all of the illustrative. Looks like we're missing some of the high school level illustrative mathematics. So I think we should probably hold off on McGraw-Hill. Everybody support that? Okay, open up resources. These are all of their submissions. Oh, we're missing grade. To look at that, or should we can wait on them as well?
Was it Jennifer or Sarah? Carolyn's current. Okay, yeah, so there is one component that she hasn't turned in yet. Her last component for 7A. Yeah, okay. So I have not, she has not submitted yet. I just checked about 2 minutes.
So, is there a preference from the committee as far as waiting on all open up or just waiting on the 6-8 grade band?
Let's wait on all of it.
All of it? Okay. Okay, envision mathematics from Savas, all comprehensive. Like, that's investigations. So they have 2 different programs that they submitted that are in multiple grades. So then investigations, there's a basic for kindergarten, and comprehensive. Looks like there's some high school envision. I can move those, but they're also comprehensive. Who looked at the kindergarten investigations?
I can pull it up. I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
So how many? Sorry, Stacy, you're the lone wolf.
Where am I? I'm lost.
You're alone. You're alone. The rest of your K5 folks.
What can I say? But I know it was the same people who did K1 too, so I'm guessing it's straight on percentage, but I'll have to go back and look at it.
Okay. So still good there with basic and comprehensive onward. Walsh submitted 2 high school series, Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. It looks like those were not recommended. Their integrated math, however, was considered comprehensive. Although they are very differing, they're still consistent as far as the series goes. Are you okay with that? Yep. Steiner Blosser submitted toolkits for addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. And those were both recommended as a component material. So does anybody want to revisit? Taylor didn't come back, so.
I did confirm, he confirmed that it should be submitted as component.
Okay.
Sorry, yes, component for gizmos.
Okay. I will clean up the spreadsheet as far as ordering the sequences or classes, course titles together. Just to make sure that's clear, like moving all of the gizmos and their reflex for Explore Learning together. So there may be a minor difference. But CPM we're waiting on.
What was the final on McGraw-Hill?
We're waiting.
That's okay. Thank you.
Why that Walsh was not recommended for the algebra. That's kind of
Yes.
unusual.
Yeah, there is a big difference.
There is. So as you look at it, so evidence not found on materials about finding areas of polygons, angles of polygons, etc., which is a major unit in geometry. Also evidence of special right angles was not found in the course. Limited exposure and practice in finding volume of geometric shapes. Assessments are not in an editable format at all. And it's more like there are folders with just topics versus a curriculum.
So, actually missing standards.
Yes, very crucial standards all the way through. Missing things, almost everything was in 1 or 0.
They were in integrated. Interesting.
Yeah, and so it says many times the student worksheets only contain questions and not the actual details of how to solve a problem. So there was the missed key components of teaching and then actual standards.
Interesting.
Okay. If everyone is in agreement of what we will vote on today.
Do you want to hear about my kindergarten outlier before you say that? I looked it up and it was actually 91%. They just put it into the wrong spot and neither Michelle or I picked up on that. So it would be comprehensive.
Okay. And can you remind me which one that?
Well, I could, except I can't remember. It was close to the bottom. They were the only bait right there.
The comprehensive?
Yeah, it was 91%. They must have just put the X in the wrong spot.
Oh, is there any zeros? That might be.
Let me double check, but I didn't see any as I. There was a 0 in the about materials include summative assessments given at the end of the learning process. It's a checklist, and there were no formal screeners, so there were 0s in the assessment section.
So that even though it's a 91, because there's a no alignment present, then that makes sense that it's dropped down to basic.
That's where they put it. Yep.
All right, if we are all in agreement, then I entertain a motion to approve this set of materials as listed.
So moved.
So motion by Lisa, second by Roshan. By Larry. All right, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll
Say-
second. I'll third.
Okay, moved by Lisa and Christy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you, everyone. And we will arrange a meeting to revisit those that we will be looking at the alignment issues and those that are still outstanding.
You'll let us continue to have access to the campus.
Yes,
Good
absolutely.
deal. Okay, so we can still communicate. Okay.
See you, Stacy.
Bye.
Miss you guys. Next year I'll be there.
Miss you.
Take care.